मेरा बरिंदर फोन किधर से?
Okay, so hi everyone, I'm Asmeet. I am a dentist. I am currently pursuing my MBA from IIM Mumbai, and I understand the anxiety around the form filling and everything. I went through the same chaos that you all are going through right now. So let me help you all with the IIM Mumbai form and its cutoffs. Just give me a minute.
Hi everyone,
Okay, so
Deepak here. So let's keep it interactive. Whenever you guys have any queries, just keep on putting it in the chat. Smith will make sure that each of your queries is getting addressed. Right? Just put it. Keep on putting it on chat.
okay, so firstly, let's start with what's given on the official website. Deepak, I'm sharing my screen, okay?
Yeah, Smith. Sure.
You have disabled the participant screen sharing, so I can't do it.
Right.
Deepak,
Smith, can you please try now?
okay. Just give me a minute.
Smith, can you please also check that if you can record the meeting in your laptop?
Wait, let me check that also. No, I can't. I will have to request permission for recording the meeting, but I'm sharing my screen now. Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah. So, see, this is the data from the official website for the batch of 25 to 27. Now, firstly, you all should have at least 50% CGPA. And in any category, if you belong to any category, then this is relaxed to 45%. So first criteria is that coming to the CAT criteria, they have specifically mentioned their minimum requirements for CAT percentiles for stage one. Stage one is just the shortlisting for the PI. Okay, so they have specifically mentioned their sectionals as well as overall for all the categories. So please look at this. Do not look at any other website. This is from the official website of IIM Mumbai. You all can also get this all these PDFs there. It is for the batch of 2025 to 2027. So it's the your batch, correct? So do not look at any other website when it comes to cutoffs. This is their official cutoff. Secondly, so there is a master score that is prepared. Okay, that is for your final selection. Someone had a query about work and all of that also. So I'll just explain this. So they will consider your 10 standard score, and then there is also the multiplication factor that is given below the table, 0.7. So depending upon your percentage, you will get a score from 1 to 10, and then that will be multiplied to this factor. Now coming back to your 12th exam, it's the same thing, but it's just streamlined into three different streams: science, commerce, and art. There is the scoring criteria is given. Now, when it comes to your undergraduation, there are different ACs that are there. AC1 is for medical sciences. AC2, I think, is for CA, CFA, all of that. And that distinction is also given below. I will show it to you. So your scoring criteria is also given. And why AC1 has a different scoring criteria? It's because it's for the medical backgrounds, anyone from who's done MBBS, BDS. So there, the scores are not given as much as compared to a commerce background. So that is why there's a difference to just balance it out. And also your multiplication factor is also given below. Coming to work experience. So if you can see that less than 12 months of work experience is not going to count as any work experience, the score is going to be zero. 12 to 36 months is you have to multiply the number of months you work for into their multiplication factor. And above 36 months, you get a 5 point score. So see, these are all the ACs, how they are segregated it. So according to your AC, which AC you belong to, you have to check your UG score accordingly. So this was part of how they will prepare a master score for you, who's eligible, who's not eligible. Now coming to your application. So I do not have the form with me because of course I couldn't register, but there are mainly four questions. Okay. So I'll just stop this. Okay. So now I will wait, let me check your chat. Okay, so Karthik, your BARC clearly doesn't meet the sectional criteria. And if they've specified they needed above 80, 80, 85, then I think that is the minimum requirement. Pratish, you should apply. You have really good scores, so you should apply. But the only thing is, so for a non-engineer, only MBA OSCM will not be applicable for you. That is operations and supply chain management. Other rest, I think, for MBA, sustainability management and a general MBA, both you can apply. Yes, it is a good idea to apply for both. You can apply for multiple for better chances if you're okay with the MBA OSM, MBA or MBA SM. The option is valid for people to apply to all the three programs or two or one. So choose as per your liking. At least apply. And yes, panelists might ask you about your program choices. I think the interview will remain common for any of number of programs that you've applied for. So they might ask you what is your preference and why have you filled both and what if you get and you answer that you want MBA OSM more than you want MBA general. then they might twist the question saying if you don't get into OSM but get into MBA general. So you'll have to have these answers ready with you. But it's always a good idea to apply to many fields. It just enhances your chance. See, Radhika, uh, it really depends on what type of candidates they want to take. It's not like that unofficial sectional percentiles are 95 each. This is not what happens. They've specifically mentioned it on the website. Just follow that. BCA is not there in the categories. There were six ACs. You check the PDF and then see it'll be there. WorkX till which date should be calculated? December 24th. So, whatever work-ex you have filled in your CAT form, that work-ex will be considered for your master's score. Because, of course, when you filled your CAT form, post that also, there are many people who continue working. So, technically, they have more number of months, but till whatever you filled in your CAT form, that will be considered. Uh, I think VRC, if I'm not sure, I don't remember the sectional cutoff, but if it's 80 plus, then Radhika, you should go for it. So a lot of questions are on the percentiles and your section percentiles. If you qualify for the minimum cutoff, then please go ahead and fill the form. Do not believe on random websites that say that there is an unofficial cutoff or an official sectional cutoff which has like 95 percentile. Do not believe all of that. Uh, Pranju, yes, you can mention it here. Uh, just select the proper degree in this form at least. I think there are some details like 10th, 12th, and undergraduation which are pre-filled in your form when you log in from your CAT form. If you have an option of changing your degree here, then I think you should go ahead with that. As Okay. So let me come back to the form. So there'll be four major questions that are there. One is your special academic achievements. Second will be on your extracurriculars and hobbies. Third would be your summer internship. And fourth would be your final year project. Now I understand that most of y'all or some of y'all would not have an internship or would not have a final year project. I I am a non-engineer. I did not have a final year project. So I had to leave it empty. I couldn't do anything about it. So try and if you can then try and fill uh co- all the four questions, but if you can't, it's fine. I'll just go step by step on what to write in each. First is your special academic achievements. If you have held any rank in any subject in any year in your undergraduation in 10th or 12th, so you have to fill all of that there. If you've got any scholarship or you've published any research paper, anything related to academics that is worth mentioning and you can quantify it, please write it there. Also, when you write it, supposing you've held first position in your undergraduation, so mention out of 100 students or out of 500 students. So try and quantify the impact wherever possible and write at least 2 to 3 points because we all have a 1500 character word limit. Now, uh, so you try and utilize that. Also for internships, there are some people who do multiple internships or who have multiple internships. So you would have to pick your best internship or your best points and then showcase it because there is a word or there is a character limit of 1500 characters. Now coming to summer internship. So as I said, choose your best summer internship if you have multiple. Choose the best points that you can craft. Secondly, use power verbs. If you go on Google and if you type 100 power verbs, you will get a list of power verbs. So try and start your points by using power verbs. It just makes a good impression. It just shows leadership skills. Write in bullet points, do not write in paragraphs. And so I will show you my form also. I wrote in points, and I think you all should also do the same only because a paragraph is very difficult to read. So if you segregate in points, it's always better. Second, in your Summer internship also, whatever you all work you all have done, if you all can quantify it, for example, made a 10% difference in maybe reducing the overall time, or anything that you can uh, quantify, please try and quantify. Do not just write a sentence that I completed this work or something like that. Then coming to your extracurriculars and hobbies. So utilize this. This is a free space for you all. Okay. Showcase your best self. Showcase what all you can do. All your shades, all your colors. You play any sport. You are good at writing, maybe any of your other hobbies. So use this space to show that you are more than someone who is academically brilliant. Okay. So that is one thing, one advice that I would really give. Here also, put your points in pointers. Do not write a very big paragraph. Try and segregate your points. And I am not really sure. I think that if you go on to the next line, that many number of spaces are counted. That many number of spaces are counted as characters. So if that's the case, just segregate by writing A, B, C, and write it in one paragraph. I'll show you how I did it. Okay, so use this space. I only wrote extracurriculars because I had a lot of them. So choose your points very carefully, what you want to show them. The hierarchy of points in each section should also be your best points should be first, and then your then you can maybe segregate them according to priority, or what do you think should come first or last. Last is project. So in your project also, try and put in, I think engineers will have a final year project. So try and put in what impact did the project make? What did you learn out of the project? How does it help you in the MBA? Describe the project a little. And those of you who don't have a final year project, it's fine. Even I did not have a final year project. Okay, now let me answer some of your questions. If you have a certificate for your internship, then you can mention it in your internship, but you will have to formulate points in that way only. And guys, please use PowerWorks. It is very essential for your form that you start your sentences by using a PowerWork. So, Amrinder, if the form is not pre-filled for all the details that you filled in your CAT form, then you can correct it. But if it is mail IIM Mumbai that this is the correction and I need to make it, what can I do? Because if it's pre-filled, then you'll have to address it to them only. Do we describe internship work in bullet points? But I will show it to you how you have to do that. If the space for going to the next line is counted as that many number of characters, then just number or, alphabetically, just write A and write start your point, and then wherever that finishes, write B and then the next point if bullet points are not feasible in terms of character limit. So, Pratish, you can mention that paper and just in the bracket you can write under review for publication. That's it. Yeah, I will give you insights from my interview as well. So, in case of no marks that have been provided, and if you directly have a 9 pointer or a 10 pointer, so Mail IIM Mumbai, what do they want to do? Usually, if people used to have, if they used to have percentages, what they used to do, they used to write maybe 89 out of 100 and then write 89%. That's what we used to do. But if in case you have a 9 pointer or a single digit pointer system, then just mail them and ask them what is the appropriate thing that they would want you to do. Kaustubh, so see, there are two things. One is that they can read the form before you enter the room and have an image of you and then maybe ask questions around that. Or second is that they can actually sit with your form and ask you questions from your form. Okay, so if they ask you questions from your form, whatever you write in your form, you save it and you make a backup of it that if they ask you questions from this, then how will you answer? And have a justification for everything. Mention it under Abhishek, under they have a special category for any certifications that you have done, and CA, come under that. So till whatever stage you've cleared, you can mention that. Radhika, I am not very sure if they've filtered out like that, but if they've given certain proper minimum criterias, I think they will follow that at least. And then maybe additional criterias. But for stage one, they will follow that. Ayushi, yes, mention that. It is, you can actually mention it in your academic achievements also. If you do not have a good number of academic achievements to write, you can actually mention this. It's a very good point. Parents' income, not in the admission stages, but later on when you have to apply for scholarships and whatever scholarships come through the college, there they will ask you for your proof of income, Milonia. Certificates, as in with certificates, any see the only certifications that are accepted or have a different scoring criteria are CA and CFA. So any other certificate, any online certifications, I'm not really sure that, they don't bring so much value. But I mean, there are a lot of freshers do MBA. You won't be the only one who's going to do it just after graduation. So justify your answer. Why do you think this is the right step forward for you? You can say that it by the time my course starts, I will have 1 year to figure out. I will have done an internship or a job or something like that, and this why this is the best move forward for you. See these answers. Why MBA? Why did I not wait and get enough work experience and I'm joining MBA as a fresher? These answers are very personalized, and all of these answers relate indirectly or directly with your short-term and your long-term goals. So all of these four questions, you'll have to make answers accordingly and also be confident when you're answering these questions because the interviewer will want to find a loophole, right? Where they can catch you, and that's when they will start your stress interview. So whatever you're answering, make sure you believe it and make sure you're confident. When I tell you my interview experience, I was also, my interview was also going towards a stress interview, but it did not go through because I stood by my answers. So I will tell you all that also. Ayushi, if it's a 2 percentile difference, then I can't really guarantee you that you'll get a call because they've clearly mentioned their criteria. So I would follow the criteria. But in just in case, if it's fine for you, if you want to take the chance, then go ahead and fill it. But I don't think they will drift from the criteria. Yeah. But that is a dual degree, right? And I think you have to fill it in undergraduation details only, Sayukta, because you still haven't completed it. But when you graduate, you'll have a dual degree, right? So actually, just mail them and just clarify that I'm supposed to fill all of this in undergraduation only, right? Because according to me, you are supposed to do that only. Okay. So guys, I'll just show you a glimpse of my CAT form so that you all get a better idea. My screen is visible.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Okay. So see, I had not written my special academic achievements point wise, which I should have. But in my extracurriculars and hobbies, I have written it A and then started my point, then B, then started my point. Because I think after I would have finished A, and if I would have pressed enter, that many space characters would go. I remember doing that. So just segregate your points like that. Okay. And here also in summer internship,
Um, we are actually able to see. I'm actually able to see only the screen of that IIM Mumbai cutoff. Admission
one
policy.
second.
Could you please show
One
us your
second.
application?
One second. Can you all see now?
Yes.
Yeah. So I hadn't written special achievements and summer internship details point wise. You all should do that. Write it point wise, like I've done in extracurriculars and activities. I left my final year project blank because I did not have one. But try and fill all the four sections if you all can. Also quantify it and try and use power verbs like led our team, like I've written led our team and orchestrated, enhanced, anything that shows leadership, anything that shows management skills, all these power verbs you should read. I mean you should write. Okay, any questions, guys? Also, in general, these answers take a lot of iterations and you'll have a lot of time. So, frame your answers and do not use ChatGPT language. They recognize it very easily. So, in your forms, at least, do not use ChatGPT language. You all can take help of it to frame your points, but do not, the language shouldn't be AI. They recognize it very well.
Ma'am, what do you mean by chat GPT language? Like, is there a specific tone, intonation, tone that you're referring
So
to?
when
Or
you so when you put a prompt on GPT and it'll give you like it'll make answers for you, and if you directly copy paste those answers, they will know this language is chat AI written and not human written. ChatGPT has a certain way of writing answers or framing answers for you. So it is very easily recognizable that this is a GPT language. So use it maybe to structure your answers, but don't use the entire same thing that the GPT makes for you.
okay, but is there any specific? Because honestly, my writing style is somewhat similar to chat GPT style already.
No, so what
That's
you
why
can
I
do is there are
struggle with
many so there are many websites where you can put in AI detector websites and just put in your material and see how much percent AI is there because people can
it.
recognize it very very easily and these interviewers they do. Yeah, for work experience people, yeah, you all can do that. Write your work ex if not internship. Okay, my interview experience, someone had asked. So, my interview was mainly around why I want to do MBA. It was the first year that Mumbai was having uh, a non-engineer batch as well, like a diverse batch. And they grilled me only on why I want to do MBA being a dentist. And I gave them all possible explanations to my answers. I even told them names of five. They asked me five people, tell me their LinkedIn and I will search if they have done MBA after BDS or MBBS. So I did that as well. Then they told me that how would you survive within a sea of engineers? You know, being a BDS, you've left maths, and how would you be able to cope up with this? So I told them that even CAT was not uh, similar to what I have done. For me, CAT was also new, and in a sea of engineers, I cleared that, and I'm sitting here. So I will do that when the time comes. If I'm enrolled in the program, I'll manage there also. So basically, they were grilling me just on the fact on how I would survive. I do not know math as well as engineers do, and why would a doctor want to do MBA? So my interview mainly was around this only. It went on for a good 35 to 40 minutes, and usual interviews were going on for 15 to 20 minutes. But mine went on till 40 minutes, and it was just about this. So I did not leave my ground in those 40 minutes. I stuck to my answers, what my goals are, and how this degree would help me. That is why, guys, when you all prepare such answers, make sure even what you're writing in your form, if you all are filling multiple forms, the explanation for that, everything that connects you to why you are applying for this program, why MBA, just connect it with your short-term and long-term goals and make a very solid answer, which you also believe in and which you will be able to defend if they put you in a stress interview. If you say two, three different things, like for example, if you have a work ex in operations or IT, and then you tell them, I want my passion is marketing, so I want to shift to marketing. These are points where they will grill you that you have no basis. You have a passion, okay, but how will you do the shift? How will you manage? How will you get a shortlist for marketing? All of these things. So when you say something, make sure you are aligned. When you get into the program, you can choose whatever field you want. But for your interview, make sure your story is aligned from start to end. Shreya, no, I Mumbai only had last year and what I read on the website this year also, they only have a PI. There will be no what, no cheating. A safe percentile for applying to this program. If you meet the cutoff, I think you should apply because let the PI calls come and then decide. Safe percentile, but in my suggestion would be above 95. I have 2 years of okay. See, they have a separate this thing points for WorkX. There is a separate space given for WorkX. So do not confuse your WorkX with your internship.
Ma'am, actually, one thing, the internship that I highly engineering base. So, and post that, the job that I was doing was a management consulting firm, like a complete shift. So, I just wanted to check, like, can this be a point that they can grill me very well in interview because the two things are very contrasting.
Amrinder, firstly, see, there is a separate section column before these questions come. There's a separate column where you have to enter your WorkX details. So if you've entered your WorkX details, your company, your designation, everything, the same can't be written for internship. Internship is a separate this thing. So you have to write your internship only, and they can, and your justification can be very simple that you are from an engineering background, you took up internship in that, but later on realized passion for management, and that's how you switched to management consulting, and that led you to pursue MBA. So it's a very straightforward story. They can ask you about it, but it's not a very stressful topic as such. I don't think it should matter.
Got it.
Degree or professional degree. Provisional degree certificate. No, if you are still in your undergraduation, it's fine for this. But what will you have to ask them what to write in your undergraduation marks. If you are still in your undergraduation program, you'll have to mail them and ask them. Secondly, poor academic background and academic backlogs. See, when I showed you all the master's code preparation, right? How they grade you all. So it affects there, firstly. Secondly, if the interviewer wants to grill you, he can ask you about it. They had asked me also that my grades dropped in my undergraduation, but then I had to explain it to them. That's not how it was. In medicine, we don't get a lot of marks. So that is there. They can ask you, but mainly it affects your scoring criteria.
Just in case you were saying that we have for people who are pursuing undergraduation. Actually, my case is that I will graduate in the next maybe couple of weeks or so, and my my college will not give out any degree certificate or any kind of grades at this moment. They give it out after it's finalized. Maybe it'll take 2 or 3 weeks for them to
Sure.
finalize that. So I cannot
So
put any grades right now except like a previous semester grades maybe. So if should I contact IIM about this or
yes,
if
you
you don't have
should
anything?
also check if you can get your grades before the form filling deadline. I think it's around some 31st Jan or something. So if you
Uh,
can get it before that, then might as well wait it out. But if you can't, then just email it to them that this is the case and let me know what should I do. Because in my batch also, we had people who have given their undergraduation exam after coming to IIM Mumbai, their final exam.
oh, okay.
So they only provide the solution for the form and everything. So just contact them.
Okay.
One second. Who else is asking? Metri, so see, whatever work you have done, if you have even calculated ratios, quantified that, calculated, maybe saw the annual for the annual report, so number of annual reports that you went through, or the amount of crores that you handle in your annual report, you can quantify it in this way. Maybe you make a rough iteration of this answer. You send it to me. I am in the group itself. And then maybe we can work from there. But at least I need to have a rough answer in front of me to tweak it and to tell you how you can quantify it.
Hi, ma'am. Ma'am, I have read in a RTI data of IIM Mumbai that it has a very high sector cutoff. You need 89 percentile in VRC, DILR, and quant section for
Hmm.
NCOBC category to get
Hmm.
a call. Ma'am, I had 86 percentile in VRC section. In other two section, I have more than 90 percentile, and overall my percentile is 96.55 percentile. I am a male engineer of NCOBC category with more than 2 years of experience. Should I fill the form or I can skip one?
No, you should fill the form. You are meeting all the criteria.
Madam, I have read that they will not call you if your percentile is less than 89 percentile in any section.
No, no, no. They have mentioned their minimum cutoffs, and I think you should just stick to that and just fill the form. Mentioned it, it's
I,
for a reason, right? You clear all the cutoffs, you should fill the form. Why would you waste an opportunity?
Madam, that is mentioned in RTI data when they give final admissions.
Final admissions depend upon a lot of things. I showed you all there is a master score that is prepared. So it's not like it's not like they will not take people based on just sectional cutoff. It has a lot of criteria involved. So maybe the students who got selected did have an 89 percentile and above cutoff, but there is no unofficial limit as such.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
No work experience, no, you cannot write articleship in that. It has to be a proper work experience. You can leave it. So Pranchu, you take me back to my interview days. So, I firstly, one suggestion that I would give all of you is do not ever say anything that you didn't like about your undergraduation or your previous work experience, and that is one of the driving factors that why you all are doing an MBA. So one tip is that. Secondly, in my case, after apart from being a trained dentist, I would I had a small business, and then I used to do a lot of marketing for the clinics in both the clinics that I worked at. So eventually I realized that I love doing management stuff, looking after even in a small clinic, which is like a business itself. So I used to do everything, finance, marketing, day-to-day operations, everything. And that sort of, I really started liking that work. And secondly, I wanted to get into leadership roles and work in a pharma company or maybe a healthcare company, or just move beyond a clinical setting and not just sit in one clinic my entire life. That was my motivation to do MBA. And that's how I justified it with my short term and long term goals where I see myself. I wanted to work for Medtronics for such a long time. So I mentioned that also, and I told them that I know that Medtronics doesn't come to IIM Mumbai, but the first step towards that position or that leadership role or making an impact in a different way in the same industry is getting my management degree and learning about business and business principles. And that's how I landed and gave that and now doing MBA.
Ma'am,
Miloni, there are, yeah.
a further question on this, out of curiosity, what if in such a scenario, I'm going to compare this to my own experiences. So I'm just asking, what if
Mm.
someone says, accuses, in a stress interview type situation, if the panel accuses you of saying, okay, you didn't get dentistry, so you're coming to do an MBA. Well, how do you deal with such a question if someone says me, you didn't do well in UG, so the next step is MBA? How would you think I should handle such a question?
Firstly, uh, telling them that, see, doing bad in UG doesn't necessarily mean that the next step is an MBA. For an MBA, also, the admission criteria are so strict that they would also look at my background, my academic performance from UG, from 10th, 12th, everything. So technically, me not performing well in UG puts me at a backhand when I want to do MBA. Secondly, I would want to uplift myself after uh, maybe a not very strong academic performance. So the next step that I feel is best for me is to get into a very reputed institute and get a good degree from there to uplift myself from that point on. So you can uh, say these two, three things. One is your UG score is anyway going to be considered for an MBA. So you are actually lacking there. I mean, you are at a backhand there. So why would you want to
I
fill
meant it
that?
in the sense of, what if someone accuses me of saying that, of pretending that I actually, I'm interested in whatever I am interested in, say operations. If in a stress interview scenario, I am, that's something I fear a lot that will happen, that if someone notices that I am not very 100% clear about what I want to do in my future, and they
See,
started, okay,
these are the things
you do
that
really
they
want to
will
do an MBA.
actually, when you say you're not clear about your future or they accuse you of that, that's when your short-term and long-term goals answer comes into the picture. That is why I said you have to be very, very clear when you make these answers, and these answers are very personalized. With different mentors, you can go through different iterations of the answer to make it more strong. But this is exactly the scenario where these answers come into the picture of how would you defend such questions because you have a plan for yourself. You see yourself doing certain specific things in short term or long term. So, uh, doing this MBA is only going to help me get there. So, someone accuses you also of uh, this not a good academic performance. That's what you said, right, in your undergraduation.
Yes.
Yeah, so you tell them this is what I want to do, and the next logical step is this. What has happened in the undergraduation, I don't want to repeat it further. And if they are accusing you, not necessarily you've performed bad in your undergraduation.
No, wait, I actually did. I had a backlog.
So no issues. See, you have that's what I was telling you, that you tell them that if I have a backlog, if I have a lower percentage, then it's anyway not helping me. But I would want to still uh not let that one thing overshadow every good thing in me and what I want with my life. And MBA helps me get that. It is just it's just a small stone in my way, and I would want to focus on the whole picture and not just one area where I fell short, and I would want to compensate for it in this degree. You can just say these things. Yeah. Is a gap year considered negative? Not really. It really depends on the profile. I have my peers who have gap years, so it's fine. It's not necessarily a negative. UG score in architecture 68%. I have experience of about 45 months. It doesn't really affect your conversion. It just would, you know, make a difference in your master score. Even I had a 68 or 69 percentage overall in my undergraduation, so it doesn't necessarily make a difference. And also, I did not have WorkX at the time. I did not mention WorkX in my GAT form. So I had 0 points for WorkX as well. Miloni, I hope I answered your question. Guys, do not leave academic achievements and extracurriculars. These two things do not leave. Go back to your schooling days. Think about what you can extract from your entire journey to write in your academic achievements. But highly suggesting do not leave at least these two sections blank. One is academic achievements and extracurriculars or hobby. And also, I wrote only extracurriculars in my form, but you all can have a mix of extracurriculars and hobbies, maybe half and half if you don't have a lot of extracurriculars. I had around 7 to 8 of them, so I only chose to write extracurriculars. Also, showcase everything. If you're good at something, your hobbies are cooking, it's basically a blank slate to show them that you're more than your academic achievements. And that is a very good talking point also in interviews. I know one of my interviews was just about reading books, nothing else. So be prepared. And if you write your hobbies in general, when you prepare or an answer about your hobbies, you have to know every follow-up. I was asked my favorite author and 5 books about of my favorite author, and if any book has made into a movie, all of these questions surrounding it. So be prepared with follow-up questions for your hobbies as well. Shreya, I think you should mention the marketing one. It's more in the management domain. Or rather, if you have better points in, just gauge which internship you can make better points in and then gauge. But if I had to, then I would suggest marketing. Uh, they don't, as in, they did not actually. I had carried everything, everybody had carried everything, all certificates, but they didn't necessarily ask for it. If your better points for IT, if it's that clear, then go for IT. They basically those points you should be able to have better speaking points also. So if IT is an option, if that is the IT internship, then go for it. Any other questions, guys?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Ma'am, actually, na, I have always been like a okay student. Like I don't have any special academic achievements like कभी first या second ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. Like I've always been normal okay student. So I don't really have anything to write in it. I'm like clueless
You
about what.
can you can write if you've gotten distinction or anything. So I had written that I got distinction, which is sorry. I had written I got distinction or 70%, which is considered great in my field. So just mention that if you've got distinction in your 10th or 12th, something like that, just make a point. I'm sure you will find something to write. It's not
Ma'am,
necessarily about first rank, second rank, or third rank.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
ma'am, can I write that I was a topper
of male students in my degree.
Specifically male students.
Yes, ma'am. Overall rank was like fourth or fifth.
Yeah, you can. But actually, that instead of writing topper of male students, you can mention you were fourth or stood fourth or stood fifth, and amongst like 100 students or 60 students or whatever your batch strength was. That makes more
Okay,
sense.
ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Mama, one question, like, like, do they verify each and everything, like that you have written in your form and in the interview, like,
Not necessarily, but write something that you can, if at all asked, if it's a really bad day for you, and if at all asked, you have something to show. But most of the times they don't ask for proofs. You just carry them along with you.
okay.
Uh, ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, can my academic achievements include certificates that I got really early in school, like eighth, seventh class, something like that? Or should I avoid them?
See, I also had written about my 10 standard, so it's fine if you really don't have anything, but try to keep this in the third or fourth position, well, low priority.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Also, in your academic achievements, try and follow a hierarchy in terms of timeline. Go with the most recent ones towards the not so recent ones.
Ma'am, hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, could you please repeat about that bullet points, how we are supposed to like, add in the
Just
extracurriculars?
Yeah, so just name your points as in A and then write your point and then B and then write your point. Either do that or do one, two, three, four.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am, I qualified GATE this year, so can I write that for academic achievement?
If you're if you really don't have anything, then maybe, but it's another entrance exam only, right? But people do write about their JE this thing rank, so I think you can also write about your entrance exam. But if you don't have anything else, only then I would suggest writing it. Yes, there was. You can write about your achievements during graduation. Uh, no, Shreya, they can ask you about current affairs. I haven't talking about an abstract topic is like an extempore. They don't do that, but current affairs, yes, very much. Also, your when you prepare your introduction, right? All of you will have prepared an introduction. So make your introduction very strong. Showcase your best points of your story there, because your introduction acts like a hook. You will have given them a lot of things to ask you. So make your introduction in such a way that you give them hooks on what you want them to ask. So if you give proper hooks, they will ask you questions from your introduction directly because it's the first thing they will ask you to say. So you all should have a 45-second and a 60-second, 60 to 70-second introduction ready with your the two kinds, because they will tell you a short introduction or a long one. Usually, most cases, 90-second introduction, no one asks. Shivani, distinction will depend upon your field. For mine, it was 70%. I'm not aware of BSc criteria. You will have to check your website or something.